Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. There is a stimulus tour. Actually, it's more like a political calculation. Welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, it's about the economy, and it's about your money. I help you make sense of the complex world of politics, the complex world of the economy, so you can understand the impact it has on your money so that you can become a better investor and you can essentially create your own personal economy where it's raining money for you as we get through this horrific crisis. Now, let's explore the clear political calculation from the Biden administration as they launch this stimulus tour. You'll see this headline on your screen from the Washington Post. Biden and allies launch stimulus campaign focused on competitive battleground states. So what is happening? President Biden, Vice President Harris, and their families are actually going to be visiting 7 states that President Biden won in 2020, including 2 that he flipped from the Republicans, in an effort to make sure the Democrats hold on to control of the Senate with the midterm Senate elections coming up in 2022. So you can see that the stimulus tour for specific states is a political calculation to help retain control of the Senate in 2022. As you know, right now we have 50 Democratic senators and we have 50 Republican senators. And the Democrats want to retain control of the Senate, also retain control of the House. New reporting suggests that the president is going to visit the crucial state of Ohio as early as next week. And check this out. Here are some of the states that President Biden and his allies are visiting. They're going to visit Georgia, Nevada, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania. Again, Georgia, Nevada, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania. And these states are crucial for the Democrats to maintain control of the Senate come midterms in 2022. In fact, the 2 important states that President Biden won and took away essentially from former President Donald Trump are the states of Pennsylvania and Georgia. How can we forget Georgia? Georgia is a state that allowed the Democrats to regain control of the United States Senate. According to new reporting, the president will visit the 2 states he wrestled from Republican control last year that also have competitive Senate races. Pennsylvania next Tuesday and Georgia next Friday, where the president will be accompanied by Vice President Harris. Think about this. The president and the Vice President of the United States going to 2 states that they won in order to get into the White House that are going to be important for the control of the Senate in the next year. If you've been following my channel, you know that politics is about timing, it's about opportunity, it's about tribalism, and it's about perception. If the Biden administration can say, look, we did this in time to help the American people. This was the opportunity. You elected us and we delivered. It's us against them. In other words, the Republicans want to help the rich. And the perception is we are giving you immediate relief. In fact, the immediate relief is extremely important. In the end, what people tend to remember is not what you did for me, but what you did for me lately. In the end, what most people tend to remember psychologically is not what you did for me, but what you did for me lately. This isn't something negative about the human psyche. This is simply because we tend to forget. We're so busy. We need to know what did you do for me today, not just what you did for me long term. In fact, here's an important quote from Jennifer Palmieri, who served as a communications director under former President Obama. She said this: they understand that you have to ram it into people's brains that the improvement they see is connected to the stimulus relief bill. But of course, this only works if things are actually getting better. And the good thing about this bill is that the relief is immediate. In other words, this isn't something esoteric like long-term relief. This is money in your bank account. This is checks in the mail. This is actual money coming from unemployment benefits in your bank account that you can use to go and buy food. And this is the immediate benefit that the Democrats want to capitalize on politically in important battleground states. And that is why the president and the vice president are deploying themselves to these important battleground states, not only to sell the bill, but also to gather support and to help the Democrats retain control of the Senate come 2022. So it's clear that the White House wants to be able to sell this bill, although they're not going to say this openly, that they're trying to sell the stimulus bill. Here's a quote from the White House Deputy Chief of Staff Jen O'Malley. This is what she wrote to senior staff members in a memo that was actually obtained by the Washington Post. So think about this as an internal memo that was obtained by the Washington Post. We're going to level with the American people at every step of the way and communicate clearly about why this plan matters to them and their family and how they can access the benefits afforded to them. I think the part that was left out of the memo was we're going to do it in specific states so that we can continue to maintain political control. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying this is the reality of the situation. Now, I want our viewers and subscribers to let me know what you think of this stimulus tour from the President of the United States, President Joe Biden. There he is. What's up, President? And from the Vice President Kamala Harris. What's up, Vice President? They're actually going to get on Air Force One, and they're going to be traveling to these crucial swing states, including Pennsylvania and Georgia, which have to be won by the Democrats so that the Democrats can essentially maintain control of the United States Senate. This is incredible if you really think about it, because if the Republicans regain control of the Senate, then the second half of the first term of the Biden administration could run into many legislative challenges, because anything that passes the House, even if it continues to be controlled by Democrats, which is expected to happen in the foreseeable future, that could be dead on arrival in the United States Senate. We have lived through an incredible time where the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell in the past, I'm talking about in the past in 2020, did not allow many bills that the Democrats wanted. In some cases, even bills that the former President Trump wanted, specifically the $1.9 trillion stimulus plan back in the day, back in 2020. He did not even allow that to get voted on the floor of the Senate. Imagine if in 2022, Chuck Schumer is no longer, there he is, Chuck Schumer is no longer Senate Majority Leader, and now he is essentially once again the Senate Minority Leader, and Mitch McConnell, there he is, what's up Mitch, who used to be Senate Majority Leader and now is Senate Minority Leader, goes back to being Senate Majority Leader. Think about that. I think your reaction and my reaction is going to be, so that is what's at stake here, and that is the reason for the stimulus tour, where the President Biden and Vice President Harris get on Air Force One and visit multiple states that they won and states that they seek to maintain political control of, because at the end of the day, this is a political calculation. Let me know about what you think about this stimulus tour in the comment section below. And one more thing, here's a headline on your screen from the Washington Post. Retail sales unexpectedly stumbled 3% in February. This steeper than expected decline came as severe weather gripped much of the country. So retail sales have gone down, but hopefully as the weather warms up, people can start spending again. And this is probably going to be part of the pitch from the Biden administration saying, hey, now that you're getting unemployment income, because individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality have in many cases lost their jobs permanently. So because some individuals are still in a dire situation, because we still have millions of our fellow Americans on unemployment, the Biden administration is going to essentially make a political calculation specifically in swing states to say, hey, we are here for you, and implicitly say, hey, we need you to be on our side, and the Democrats did this for you, therefore you should vote for the Democrats come the Senate midterms in 2022. Thank you so much for watching. I want you to know that I appreciate you. I work hard behind the scenes to bring you this information every single day. And all I ask of you is you please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. That would mean a lot to me personally. I would really appreciate that. That does help out the YouTube algorithm. And that is your way of supporting our channel. If I could, I would make it rain money. My goal is to make it rain money for you. And I promise you I'll do that if you stick with me, if you essentially follow along all the lessons we teach on this channel, because I do also talk about money and investing and how you can essentially make more money, save more money, and invest more money. Check out the playlist on the Financial Freedom series and check out the Managing Your Money playlist on our channel. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.